Before the apocalypse broke out, I fled to an isolated island at sea, taking all the supplies my mom had left for me. I planned to hole up at home and wait it out. Sweetheart, buy some supplies right now and hide on our island. One bizarre phone call from my mom left me and my best friend Xiaoyan, who was shopping with me, completely stunned. I quickly lowered the volume. Mom, what did you say? Do you remember that virus I told you about before? Of course I do. My mom is a PhD in biology. 6 months ago, she was suddenly disciplined by her institute and sent home on leave for a while. I asked her about it then, but all she said was that the institute had recently developed a new virus. At first, they had only been testing it on monkeys, apes and other animals. But for some reason, the higher-ups suddenly insisted on human trials. My mom firmly opposed it, which was why the institute punished her and forced her to stay home for several months. After coming home, she took out all her savings from over the years, plus the inheritance from my grandparents, and somehow persuaded a wealthy businessman to sell her a large villa on a private island. At first, I thought she just wanted a place to relax during her leave, but she poured almost all her energy into fortifying that villa. I went to see it during my vacation. All around the villa were towering walls, with electric fencing installed on top. The basement was packed with every kind of daily necessity, filled to the brim with everything we could possibly need. Vacuum-packed emergency rations, drinking water, and even a complete stock of medicine. Looking at the mountain of supplies, I couldn't help teasing her. Mum, why did you buy so much? Wouldn't it all be wasted if we never need it? Better safe than sorry. After saying that, she mysteriously pulled me over to a storage cabinet. She opened the door. Inside, more than a dozen bottles of acid enzyme body wash were neatly lined up. Mum, why did you stock so many bottles? I bought them especially for you. The sun on the island is intense. Your skin can easily get dry and red. This formula uses 5 acids and 3 enzymes. It cleans buildup from the skin, while helping it stay hydrated. You can even use it on your face. It's gentle and non-irritating. I've been wearing a lot of sunscreen on the island lately, and sometimes I forget to remove it. So I use this in the shower to wash it off too. Afterward, my whole body feels soft and looks brighter. And smell this. It has a light, elegant, woody, fruity scent. You don't even need perfume. Wow, that smells amazing. I love this scent. She had even bought a small yacht and personally taught me how to operate it. Seeing how cautious she was, I started taking the whole thing much more seriously. Go back there right now. Stay inside the house, no matter what happens outside. Do not come out. Mum, what about you? I'll come find you in a few days. Remember, leave immediately. I'm going right now. You be careful too. I didn't dare waste another second. I hurried towards Xiaoyan nearby. Xiaoyu, what did your mom say? Did something happen? Xiaoyan, things are about to get chaotic. What? Why did your mom suddenly tell you to hide on an island? I glanced warily at the people moving back and forth through the mall, then lowered my voice. My mom said the virus at her biological research institute leaked. I'm going into hiding. You should hurry and buy essential supplies too, as much as you can. I grabbed Xiaoyan's hand and ran toward the parking lot. When you get home, don't tell your parents the whole truth right away. They may not believe you. Is the virus leak really that serious? Yeah, my mom didn't explain the details, but it's definitely going to be a huge disaster. After dropping Xiaoyan safely at the entrance to her neighborhood, I reminded her, get your parents to stock up with you immediately. Xiaoyan got out of the car and hurriedly called her parents. I finally breathed a sigh of relief. Now all I had to do was drive to the coast. Once I got on the yacht, I'd basically be safe. Xiaoyu, this watch is for you. Xiaoyan tossed the watch box through my car window and gave me a gentle smile. Even if the world is ending, Our Xiaoyu still deserves a happy birthday. Watching Xiaoyan turn and run into the neighborhood, a sudden sadness rose in my chest. This goodbye might be our last. The city I was in was about 300 kilometers from the marina where my mum kept the yacht. The whole drive was strangely calm. After nearly 3 hours, I finally reached the destination. By then it was already dark. The marina's iron gate was locked. I gritted my teeth and started the car. Then I stepped on the gas. The car accelerated straight toward the gate. I drove all the way to the edge beside our yacht, grabbed my bag and got out. The marina workers heard the commotion and were already running toward me. The first thing to catch up was a dog. The German Shepherd leading them leaped toward my yacht, even though it had already pulled 5 or 6 meters from shore. With one jump, it landed directly on the deck. I didn't dare underestimate it. After steadying the yacht's course, I grabbed the fire axe nearby. But the dog didn't charge at me. Instead, it kept barking wildly toward the passageway beside us. I was confused. Then, by the dim light on the yacht, I saw a figure slowly climbing the stairs from the lower deck. Why was someone hiding on my mom's yacht? The figure roared and lunged at the German Shepherd. Its gaunt, skeletal body came fully into the yacht's light. It was a zombie. If that zombie infected the dog or knocked it overboard, I'd be the next one in danger. I crept toward the doorway, waited for an opening, then rushed out with the axe raised. The German Shepherd limped over to me. Once I confirmed it had only twisted its leg, I stopped worrying about it. 2 hours later, I finally saw the island. After hiding the yacht, I ran all the way to the villa. The German Shepherd limped along behind me. Just as I was about to close the gate, it stood outside staring at me pitifully. After hesitating for a moment, I let it into the yard. I first rubbed some medicinal liniment on its injured leg, then brought out a bowl of water and another bowl of chicken breast. I placed them in front of it. After taking a shower, I called my mom. Mom, I made it safely to the villa. Stay there and don't let your guard down. There is a sniper rifle in the underground storeroom for emergencies. Remember, other than me, do not open the door for anyone. Got it, you be careful too. Not long after I hung up, someone knocked on the courtyard gate. I opened the surveillance feed. It was the elderly woman next door, holding a plate of pastries. She probably didn't know the zombie virus had broken out. I kindly warned her. She thought I was joking, left the pastries and went home. Over the next few days, I used a high-powered telescope from the rooftop to monitor the entire island. There weren't many residents. Near me, besides the elderly woman and her husband, there was only one young couple. The TV news also began broadcasting around the clock. The zombie virus was spreading worldwide. The neighbors started staying indoors. That day, I picked up the telescope as usual to check the situation on the island. Suddenly, I saw the young couple, who hadn't come out for days, run to the elderly couple's house. We're out of food. You two grow vegetables all the time, and you're both old, so you don't eat much anyway. Can't you spare us some food? But the elderly couple didn't respond. We're neighbors. What's wrong with giving us some food? You're already so old. Don't you know you're supposed to look after younger people? Just then, the old man came out holding his hunting rifle. Beside him, the old woman carried a bag of grain. The next second, she threw the bag outside the gate. Take this and leave. Don't come bother us again. Otherwise, don't blame us for what happens. Late that night, heavy rain suddenly began to fall. I was sleeping soundly when urgent knocking suddenly woke me up. I checked the surveillance feed. It was the elderly woman next door. Why was she knocking on my door in the middle of the night? At the very next second, she seemed to notice something and ran away in panic. I followed her line of sight on the camera. Not far behind her, a man dressed in black had appeared. The next day, I used the telescope to check the neighboring villa. and discovered that the young couple had taken over the elderly couple's home. The old couple had almost certainly been killed. Sooner or later, those two would turn their attention to me. I had to find a chance to get rid of them. Just then, my phone rang. It was Xiaoyan. Xiaoyu, our neighbor found out we have food. He's threatening us. He says if we don't give him food, he'll expose us in the residents' group and get everyone to come rob us. Did you give him any? We did. My dad said at this rate, the authorities won't be able to rescue us anytime soon. Once the power and internet go out, our neighbor won't have anything left to threaten us with. Your dad's plan makes sense. From now on, don't open the door easily. If anyone breaks in, take them down immediately. I know. There's one more thing I wanted to ask you. My parents want to know if our family can come stay with you for a while. I immediately fell silent. My mom had repeatedly warned me that except for her, I couldn't let anyone into this apocalypse fortress. With that thought, I hung up without saying another word. A few peaceful days passed. Then the young woman suddenly showed up. She stood by the gate sobbing. Please, save me. That man kidnapped me and trapped me on this island. He beats me every day. I escaped while he was asleep. Can you save my life? I didn't answer her. Instead, I switched camera angles and checked the surroundings. I quickly spotted her boyfriend hiding in a tree. He was holding a hunting rifle. I immediately ran to the underground storeroom and took out the sniper rifle my mom had prepared. The woman beneath the tree saw her accomplice go down and fled in terror. Several days later, my mother finally arrived. To my surprise, she had someone tied up behind her. Mom, who is that? Why is he tied up? He's a zombie. You're doing research and you still adopted a dog. After saying that, she headed straight to the basement. That had been converted into a laboratory. I keep him for company. Mom, when will this virus finally end? What's happening outside now? Right now. Zombies have appeared in countries all over the world. The research institute outside is completely unusable now. This time, I also brought back all the experimental data we collected while researching the zombie virus. Hopefully, we can develop something from it. But is it really safe to keep a zombie in the house? It is. They can only spread the infection through saliva and blood. I've already pulled out all of his teeth. For the next half-month, my mother spent nearly every waking hour in the laboratory. I climbed to the rooftop every day to watch over the island. A week later, Xiaoyan called me again. She said her whole family had reached the coast opposite the island, but there were no boats available. She wanted me to take the yacht over and pick them up. I never told you where the island was. How do you know its location? The birthday watch I gave you has GPS tracking. I didn't put it there on purpose. The watch came with that feature. Then Xiaoyan's mother's voice came through the phone. Xiaoyu, you can't be this selfish. You and Xiaoyan used to be so close. We're only asking you to let us stay for a while. Before I could answer, a young man's voice came through as well. Hi, I'm Xiaoyan's boyfriend. Something happened to our family. I heard the place you're staying is very safe. Could you let us stay there temporarily? What a joke. So you brought the whole family, and even your boyfriend along. I hung up immediately and blocked her number. The next afternoon, a small boat suddenly appeared in my field of view. At the same time, a group of people was approaching my villa. When I looked carefully, I realized it was Xiaoyan and her family. They had actually found the island. The person at the back had something covered with a sack. Before I could figure out what it was, my mom fired a warning shot right in front of them. Xiaoyu, don't. We only want to stay here for a while. Why are you being so heartless? Come out and explain yourself. What's wrong with letting us stay for a few days? How can you be so cold-blooded? While they were shouting, Xiaoyan's boyfriend quietly circled around from the other side and approached the villa. He tried to climb over the wall. My mum shot him immediately. Seeing that, the others turned deathly pale. They quickly hid in a blind spot from our cameras. Xiaoyu, I can't believe you're this ruthless. Just you wait. Mum, I think whatever they're carrying in that sack is a zombie. If they release it, the other people living on this island will be in danger. There are several other households nearby. I'll go deal with them. I followed my mum's movement through the sniper scope. After catching up to them, she found only Xiaoyan's mother and the zombie. On her way back, a figure suddenly lunged out from behind a tree. I didn't have time to think. After she returned, Mum said she needed to leave for a while. Protect yourself. Don't leave the house. Mom, it's so dangerous outside now. Where are you going? I'm going to find someone. He was one of the key researchers on the virus project. There are some difficult problems only he understands. And he's staying somewhere very secure. You don't need to worry. Then please be careful. I'll wait for you to come back. Half a month later, Mum really did bring that researcher back. After returning, the two of them spent every day in the laboratory. We did it! We did it! This is incredible. My mother's excited shout came from the lab. Mum, what do we do next? You stay here on the island. We need to report our research results to the authorities immediately. I watched my mother and the researcher leave with unwavering determination. In that moment, I felt as if I could see hope for the world coming back to life.